Welcome to Spoiler Kings. My name is
Yo.
Tim Kramer. I'm with Will, Peppa MD. So give everyone a heads up. We are live on Facebook, on YouTube. You're over on your TikTok. Is it just Peppa MD or is it any numbers?
Peppa MD. Yep. Peppa
Peppa
MD.
MD.
TikTok. Let's do it.
Cool. Yeah. So cool, man. Yeah. How's your weekend?
Weekend's okay. Had a nice dinner with the wifey. For Valentine's Day. Doing steak for I don't know, the third or fourth time with the wifey. She's now in love. I got her to do her steak medium well. She's moving on up. And then the past week I've been doing P90X, so I am sore times 10. I'm trying to get the 20 Horton look, even with the hair. Check it out. But yeah. How's your weekend doing?
Man, pretty good weekend. Kind of a chill weekend. Watched the Super Bowl and won a little bit of money. So, yeah. So if anybody's watching right now or watching on replay or whatnot, we're definitely gonna talk about that Super Bowl on probably tomorrow's show and on our Sunday show coming up. So if you're into sports, make sure you check out the Nerd Huddle, the main channel Nerd Huddle, link in the description. Because we're gonna be talking about all that stuff, the halftime show, which was kind of epic halftime show. So we're gonna be bringing up all that good stuff. But for today. We're talking about the new murder mystery movie, Death on the Nile. So all right, we'll watch this trailer.
Let's do it.
All right. So I'm playing, unfortunately, like I said, no sound. But I will give a little quick synopsis of it. It basically, I believe is a sequel. Sorry, kitty. Kitty out of the way. All right, sorry about that.
Sequel.
Yeah, it's a sequel to, I believe, Death on the Oriental Express, I believe, or it's the same character, that I couldn't pronounce his name. He had a strong French accent in it. Pietro.
Your guess is as good as mine, man.
Yeah, he had a very strong name, and they always really exaggerated it. But that's we'll get into that in a minute. But he is on a Egyptian vacation aboard a glamorous river steamer, which is like a boat. And then it turns into a terrifying search for the murderer when a picture perfect couple honeymoon is tragically cut short. So has a bunch of big stars on it. Gal Gadot is the bride. They actually have Letitia Wright is in it. There's a bunch of big people, and the main guy, what was his name? He came back as Kenneth Banga. Came back as Pyro. I murdering his name. It was French. Yeah. But Armie Hammer was in it. Letitia Wright. Yeah, a bunch of famous people in this one.
Russell Brand.
Russell Brand. I couldn't think of his name. So it's kind of a sequel, but it's just it's a sequel to the Murder on the Orient Express, which came out in 2017. Okay. So just you kind of basic murder mystery set back in I believe in 1940s, late 1930s. This one was set in. So yeah, I mean, you really don't need to get too in depth with what it was. But yeah, it was interesting if you like murder mysteries. It's definitely a big series. I think they made other kind of books and movies from movies from the books. So
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, man. Anything you want to get into before we get into the good and the bad and stuff?
No, I'm just surprised from the cast that, like, for one, that dude from the main groom, the newly groom. I don't know his name.
It
But
was Army
he
Hammer.
Army
It
Hammer, is
was
that his name?
Simon, I believe it was.
Simon. Okay. And
Yeah, he was.
I don't remember him from any other movie except the show. What is it called? The Social Network. Do you remember him in there?
Was he in the Social Network?
He was one
Was
of
he?
the twins.
Yeah,
He's not a
yeah.
twin, but he
Oh
was one of
yeah,
the twins that gave the idea of Facebook, but wanted to call it like the Harvard something. And then Mark
yeah.
Zuckerberg, that mother. Anyways, he steals the idea and then gave us Facebook, what we have today. I was surprised to see him. I'm glad that he's getting work. And then Gal Gadot, like you said, a lot of stars in here. We had that one chick from Black Panther. I forgot her name.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Besides that,
Yeah, Letitia Wright.
Tisha Wright. There you go. But yeah, cast was, I guess, surprising to me. Surprising to see, and I'm glad that we had everyone here because everyone played a real important role to making
Mm,
what this movie was. But
yeah.
yeah, let's get
And,
into the likes when you're ready.
well, real quick too, there was so everyone like Letitia Wright, like you said, Black Panther right now, and she's kind of in a lot of hot water with being anti getting the vaccine and stuff like this. So like she's in a lot of like stuff with that. And also there was a big Army Hammer scandal. I want to say 2 years ago at this point, a year ago.
Mhm.
I forgot what it was, but it was something with like uh sexting. I don't remember the exact details of it. I'm not a big Army Hammer fan.
Yeah.
But he did have a scandal that was kind of big.
Okay.
And yeah. So yeah, The Fall of Army Hammer, a family saga of sex, money, drugs, and betrayal. That's on Vanity Fair.
Damn.
So yeah, he has some stuff, and he kind of like really came off like hard. I don't know if he got fully canceled, but yeah, so yeah, you had some quote unquote scandalous kind of people in this one between Army Hammer and Letitia Wright. So I
Snap.
don't know if that played into any of why it got delayed or anything like that, or if it was just COVID. But you know, but when I watch it, I kind of put stuff like that aside, and kind of judge the movie for what the movie's worth.
Right.
But yeah, you want to get into some of the good stuff?
Yeah. So for me, I'm not really into. I don't go looking for mystery. What they called mystery?
Like murder mysteries.
Murder mysteries. There we go. But I like the
Yeah.
idea, right? So the only murder mystery that even comes to mind when I think of a murder mystery, and it's gonna sound really silly too, by the way, is I don't know if you ever watched Saved by the Bell. You ever watched Saved
Yeah.
by the Bell? They had a murder
Yeah.
mystery episode in that one. And, oh, you
Did
do?
they?
They did. It was real silly. They
I
go
didn't
to
know that. I don't remember.
they win like tickets to go to this murder mystery like place, and then if you solve the mystery you get some money. So Zach Morris, he's all about his money, so he goes, brings his friends, and then people in the house or in the home, they keep dying. And then murder mysteries, yeah, everybody loves them. I
We
haven't
love
been
mysteries.
seeing them like I should, I guess, because this one really got me to I guess inquire about more of these. Maybe there's more. I want
Mm.
to see now that you mentioned the Oriental Express
It was
one.
Murder on Orient Express. It's on like
There you go.
this one was on a boat. That one was on a train. So same kind of idea behind it all, kind of stuff like that.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you for sharing the
Thank you, Oli,
stream.
for liking. And
But
hello, Anna.
hey, Anna. Hello, hello.
Um,
So yeah, it was surprising for me to I guess to show interest. We'll get into ratings in just a hot second. But yeah, I was surprised of how you like formulate a movie like this, and they did it really,
mhm.
really nice, in my opinion. Things that I
Yeah.
liked. Um, I guess the build up. We get a little bit of background about each and every one of these characters, and the biggest drama that I loved, is seeing the psychotic behavior of like a crazy ex. So, spoiler alert, we are the spoiler kings. We see that what's his name? Army Hammer's character, who's Simon Doyle, plays Simon Doyle. He's engaged to damn, what's her name? Was it
Jacqueline?
Jacqueline, right?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
Jackie.
initially.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
initially, in the very beginning of the movie, you see them engaged, and so the whole like, hey, we're engaged. Let's show it off. So Jackie shows her friend, very close friend, plays by Gal Gadot, who plays Lynette. She shows her like, hey, this is my man, and he's so perfect. He's not really special. He doesn't have money. He doesn't have this. He doesn't have that. But he's a simple guy, and I love that. And she's all like, goo gaga for him. And I was like, okay, cool. And then the minute that Simon, lays eyes on Gal Gadot, which rightfully so, he goes and switches. He's like, oh, I want her. And
Yeah.
I like that because then after that, the whole movie is pretty much Jackie stalking them two because they end up getting married, and that whole drama was just chef's kiss. It was nice. I like the drama that happens in here. That's like I guess my favorite part. People die left and right. I like the way that they died. Very secretive, very like throw the rock, hide the hand type. Which I guess every murder mystery is like that. And so
Yeah.
just the drama overall is what kind of drew me in. But what about you?
I thought the acting was very well done. Very well. We had Gal Gadot, who usually kind of plays the same thing, and I think she kind of did it here as well. Like I don't want to say like she wasn't a damsel in distress, but she was like kind of just I don't know, a woman of like class, I guess. And then they always kind of twist it somehow, in like Red Notice, she was like a spy, but she was like a classy spy, so she always like wore heels and stuff. And I don't know, it's just like I mean, they definitely know how to use her advantages to her benefit, kind of thing.
Right.
I don't think she's that great of an actress, but she definitely like but you put somebody in roles that are really meant for them, and this role was kind of really good for her. It was like, oh hey, you're gonna be this rich powerful woman. Okay, cool. Like Wonder Woman, like Red Notice, like every other movie she's ever in is like, okay. It's like, yeah, so it wasn't too much of a stretch. I liked Gal. I did like her in this one. I thought she played Lynette really well. um and then yeah, Jacqueline played that was Emma McKay, I think, who played it. That crazy ex, she was amazing at it. Like she had that
Yes.
crazy ex look, and she was just like kept stalking him. So I was like, that was very interesting. And then Kenneth Branga, I don't know how to pronounce his name. He
Yep.
played the detective, and I mean he was good at it. He was good. I didn't see the other one, the Murder on Orient Express, so I'm not too sure how that one went, but I liked it. I think that French accent though was a lot at times. Was a lot.
Yes.
But yeah, Letitia Wright I thought was pretty good for the little bit of the role she was in. She really wasn't in that much, but then her aunt was the performer, because
Yep.
Letitia Wright was the manager to her aunt, who was the like performer of it. Sophie, was it
And when you say
Ocandio?
performing what again? To remind our viewers, she was like a
Yeah,
singer, right?
so yeah, she was like a singer, blues, jazz kind of music, which the music played a big role in the movie, especially in the beginning, middle, and part. The end, not so much, but yeah, she was kind of a badass, and she kind of was it what was her name? Salem.
Mm.
Um, she was
Salome.
the
Salome.
Salome, or something like
Uh-huh.
that. And then she kind of had a crush on the detective, and the detective had a little crush on her. So she was a little badass, though. I like that.
Same.
Yeah, but I think all the acting was pretty good. I honestly, I think the one that was a little like weak apart was Army Hammer, which was the husband.
Yeah.
I yeah, you know, I don't know if they could have got somebody a little bit better, or if that role was just kind of like bland. But yeah, but yeah, I liked it. Even Russell Brand was going out of his shell a little bit with this one. He played a very more serious role. And usually
Yeah.
he's not good with serious roles, even though he tries to be sometimes. So, but yeah, I thought the acting was pretty good. Jennifer Sanders and Dawn French were the Miss Bowers and Marie Van. I believe they were the ones that you find out are like in love. Which was kind of like back then, very forbidden that like two women, were in love. But yeah, I enjoy. I thought everyone brought some good stuff to the table, and then it's also like a murder mystery, so like it's good to exaggerate and be over the top and stuff like that. So I thought it was pretty good. I like
Yeah.
that. Um, yeah. Anything else? Any other good stuff that you liked?
Good
Oh,
stuff.
I do got one more.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
So I
I'm
got
thinking.
the visuals on it were really really nice. So they were in Egypt. They were in the on the Nile, obviously, and it looked gorgeous. It looked like they were actually there, and I doubt they were there, but it looked really really nice. They had like a sandstorm come in at one point, and
Yeah.
I thought that was done really well. All the ruins, of the Egyptian kind of ruins look really cool. So I thought it was shot really really cool. There's a part where the detective's staring at the Sphinx with the pyramids behind it, and I'm like, that was a cool shot. So
That
yeah, it had
was
some the cinematography was pretty good. For being in Egypt, I feel like you need to hit certain things. Like you need to like show the desert, and then all the pyramids and the Egyptian ruins and stuff. So they did good with that for sure. What
true.
about anything
True. True.
else you think of?
Yeah. So cinematography. I do remember a scene where I believe the detective, Poirot, Poirot. I can't say his name, but
Yeah, I know.
detective by played by Kenneth Branagh. There was a scene where like the camera is like just circulating around them while he's I think doing an
Mhm.
interrogation, and that was just so good because it gave me a feeling like oh snap, like he's about to hone in on what's going on, and he's gonna guess who the hell the killer is, because as a murder mystery there's a killer on the loose. And I felt like he was like a shark, just like circulating or sorry, revol. Can't think of the word. What is the word? Where he's like a shark,
Circling.
when circling. There you go, circling
Yeah,
his prey, and the shot is shot like that. Like you keep, it's a slow. Was it a pan? It's a slow pan around everybody. Around I think they're on a table, and
yeah.
things like, and it was real dark in that scene too. I just got this feeling like, ooh, I got like goosebumps. And then, of course, I totally agree with the camera shots where when they're in Egypt and whatnot, they really showed off the scenery, really well done. It didn't seem like a green screen was being used. I feel like they were there, which
Mhm.
maybe they weren't, like how you said. And then there was a really cool shot too where they were trying to depict Gal Gadot as Cleopatra. She put on this nice getup. I
Yeah,
can't explain how it looked, but it was like a really exaggerated dress that, like, as it went
yeah.
down, it
With
went
like,
past her feet. It was like a 15-foot dress or something.
yeah,
But it looked really really cool, and I just that kind of imagery was good. It was really good.
yeah,
But that's all I
yeah.
got as far as the good things.
Yeah. So like I also feel like it was cool. Like I know the part where she was like she was pretending to be Cleopatra,
Yeah.
and I don't know what she was standing on like a post or something, because
I
the
don't know.
way the dress like suit, like you said, it went way past her feet and everything. So it was like this giant long thing. Um, and it was really cool. And then she talked, and it was like kind of cringy too. Like I
Oh
don't know
yeah.
how you felt with it. I felt a little
Yeah.
cringy. I'm like, oh, calm down there, because I feel like Gal Gadot would think she's Cleopatra.
Right.
you know, I
I
don't
mean,
know.
in all
So, but
fairness, at least with this movie, they used, in past movies, they always used a Cleopatra, and they use like a white woman or something. At least this one, they use a person of color that lives way closer to where Egypt is than like any other North American that would play Cleopatra. So I'm glad
Yeah.
they chose somebody that has, I guess, more pigmentation in their skin, because that would be more historically accurate. Cleopatra, if you don't know, was not a white woman, not in the slightest. She was very dark, very
Yeah.
beautiful, and rightfully so, because she came from Egypt. Egypt is, how do you say, is in the continent of Africa. But yeah,
Yeah.
besides that, yeah, pretty cool. I forgot that she did talk in that scene.
She
Yeah,
did that talk like, yeah. It was a little cringy. It was
that's
like,
fair.
yeah, like, yeah, but that whole part was kind of, it was cool and a little like, ugh, at the same time. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, so what about some of the bad stuff, man? Some of the stuff you didn't like.
um, Russell Brand, I give him A for effort on his acting, but I didn't believe that he was a doctor. I think he was the only doctor on the ship, and when he was giving his I can't think of the plural form of diagnoses. I can't
I think
English
so.
today.
Diagnosis.
Diagnosis. He kept giving him, right. He's like, "Oh, this guy died of this. This guy died of this," but he didn't really explain why they died of that, or like how he could have depicted that. He's just like, "Yeah, that's what happened," and left it at that. And I was like, "Dude, come on, you're
Yeah.
not a doctor." So that
Uh,
was something that kind of bothered me. You got any comments on that?
yeah, like I kind of like laughed when so the first person that dies. And we'll stay away from some spoilers, but the first person that dies, he gets called, and the detective is like, "Do you know when they died?" He's like, "Somewhere like 6 to 8 hours ago, somewhere between 12 and 2." I was like, "How do you know? How do you know this, man?" It was
And they just
like
blindly like accept like his diagnosis. Like, yeah, 8 hours ago, cool, all right. They didn't question it or
yeah,
anything. For all
yeah.
we
I
knew,
was
he
like,
could
"How
have
do?"
been the killer making these fake ass fake ass
Yeah,
diagnoses.
yeah.
But
Which at one point I did think that,
oh,
but I was right, but yeah, we'll get into that in a second. But
okay.
yeah, that was kind of funny, because I get like, I'm like, okay, 8 hours ago makes sense because that was the last time anybody saw her or
Yeah.
there, but them. But so it was like, yeah, so it was like the last time you see them, and then like it was 8 hours ago, 6 to 8 hours ago. So I was like, okay, but he's like, oh, between 12 and 2. I was like, how do you know the exact, like, you can pin it down to 2 hours? So that's just kind of like funny stuff, whenever they do stuff like that, and then
Oh yeah.
it's not just this movie, it's just movies in general where they give these doctors like very superhuman powers, which I find annoying, because then people expect that when they go to the hospital. We're like, well, Dr. House knew exactly what the problem was. I was like, yeah, Dr. House ain't real. It's like,
Oh
so,
man.
it's like, and that I always find that annoying, when they give doctors like, oh, I know exactly what's wrong with them just by looking at them. I was like, it's frustrating being in the medical field and hearing stuff like that. But
I bet.
um how how'd you feel about, well, Russell Brand? I'm there with you. He tried getting out of his box, but he's not good at it.
Yeah.
So like A for effort, A for effort, he really tried, but it's there's certain people that you see and they're that person. And
Mhm.
Russell Brand is always Russell Brand.
Yeah.
That's it. Even as
That's fair.
no matter as he would have to like shave his beard. Like, I think he would have to
Mm.
go like clean cut and really change how he looks to do. And here he looked the same but clean, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
because
that's fair.
usually he's a little more, free with the hair and the beard. It's a little more, wild. Here
Mhm.
it's very clean and stuff like that. But it still was Russell Brand. I don't know. With that one. But how do you feel about like did you think the story was well paced? Like, from
Mm.
going from where introducing the characters to all the murders, and then him figuring out how it happened, and Scooby Dooed it at the end and stuff like that.
Pacing,
Like,
I don't think, if I had to give it like a grade, pacing would not have been an A. So at the end, pacing I think was good, but from the start to like the middle of the movie, it didn't pick up like I wanted it to. Maybe that's just
Yeah.
me not knowing how murder mysteries are, but I felt like, it started with the drama of the ex, um, stalking the new bride and groom, right? The
Mhm.
Doyles, and I didn't know how they were going to introduce the murder mystery part. I was thinking like, who the killer is going to be. It's going to be her. It's going to be the crazy ex.
Yeah.
But I never got the whole like, oh, it could be somebody else, or it could be this person, it could be that person. I never saw, in and the only reference I have of murder mysteries is Saved by the Bell. At least in there, they had the waiter, trying to finesse the damn, what is she called? The housekeeper and whatever. And
Mm.
there were certain relationships, and then she kind of gives him the cold shoulder. It's like, ooh, okay, he might be the guy. He might be the guy. And then in here, I didn't really see that. I didn't even know that it could have been anyone else. I had my pick on the Crazy X, even when they said like when the first death happened, which of course we're not going to really say just yet, but they said she was sleeping or something. She could have paid somebody off to lie. I really felt like it was her, and I know that that was the direction of possibly
Mm.
whoever wrote this movie. But again, murder mystery makes me think it could be anyone. That's what I get
Yeah.
from murder
It's
mysteries.
supposed to
So
be like that. Yeah.
it is right. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Like good
the
ones make
pacing.
you guess. Like you're never quite sure. Like good ones. For
Mm,
me, like murder mysteries are usually most of the time you know who it is right away, which kind of ruins the pacing. But yeah, so
okay.
I don't know. What else? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
Oh, you're good. Cut me off whenever you feel. Um, so that's what the beginning to middle of the movie. It just and I want to say middle of the movie. This is a 2 hour movie, 2 hour and 10 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. And
something
the
like that.
first hour, I didn't get murder mystery vibes. I got Crazy X vibes, Crazy X drama. That's what I got.
Yeah,
And so after that, right after we finally start getting into the deaths, I'm like, oh, okay, I see the direction you're going. I see like everyone's trying to get their alibis in order and see who's where and and finally the detective, he starts going in and starts doing these interrogations and start asking people like, hey, what were you doing? Where's your jacket? Your scarf's gone? Oh, okay. Like he finally, brought the murder mystery to the movie, and after that I felt like it was well paced. But that's
yeah.
how I felt. What about you? Pacing
Dude,
was okay?
exactly the same. Like the first half of the movie, even a little bit after the half, was like, I'm like, when is the murder part and the mystery part gonna happen? The same thing. And then it was very kind of it was just dragging. I was like, I get you're trying to set up all these characters and stuff like that, which I guess is part of the downfall when you play a game like that. Like you have to like figure out everyone's backstory and how they are connected to the people that are getting murdered and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But I mean, it took more than half of the movie. I felt like it took about more than half of the movie before the murders started and the mystery started. And the detective being the detective started doing his stuff. Once that happened, then it started kind of picking up. Then another death happened, and then you start getting more clues, and then something else happened. Where like all the way to the end, it was just like it went from like slow, 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 slow. And it got like okay, good, 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 and then like the last 15 minutes maybe was just like 100 miles an hour. It was just like, all right, go, go, go. We need to wrap this up right now. And it was just like, damn, it's like maybe
Yeah.
you should have, I don't know, but it wasn't horrible. I definitely
Mhm.
seen way worse murder mysteries. But it kind of just was going the pace as all the other ones kind of before it.
Mhm.
It was like it's
Okay.
a genre that's been done a million times, and to do it for a million and one, like you already know the steps. So it felt like it was just kind of like repeating the same kind of thing over and over again. Um, but yeah, once things started happening, it started getting good, but it just took a little while. Took a little while.
Yeah.
Um, anything else? Bad things before we get into our reviews?
Um, I guess I was a little confused by the very, very beginning of the movie. They were giving backstory on the detective. He was in, I think,
Oh,
was it World War I, if I'm not
one.
mistaken.
Yeah.
Um, and they show him, and I think he's only speaking French.
Mhm.
And I didn't understand the beginning. I was lost. I have no clue why they showed what they showed. Maybe I missed a point. It could have been right over my head. But
Yeah.
do you know why they showed they showed the very beginning of him, and he's in his younger years. He's very smart, and somebody trips like a wire or something, and his face gets blown off. They didn't use that for the rest of the movie. His face being blown off. You know, the girl that
No.
he was in love with at that time, she was like, I think, a nurse, and she was trying to attend to him, but he's over here, you know, giving her the cold shoulder because he thinks she's not good looking with his face kind of blown off. And she tells him, like, hey, grow your mustache. That's how you're gonna fix it. And
Yeah.
and he does. The rest of the movie, he has a grown mustache, and you see like a scar, but you could have taken that fully out. It didn't really give character. I guess very. They could have shortened that. I understand what they
Mhm.
were trying to do. They were trying to give you the idea that he's given up on love because of what happened. Maybe that's what I took away from that.
Yeah.
And it just uh, you could have made this movie an hour and 45 minutes by just taking that out, and the movie would have been
Yeah.
just fine.
Yeah. Like 100%. Like it was I think they were trying to show like, hey, he's very smart. You know, even in
Mm,
war, he's like, oh, look at the birds because of the air, and we're gonna, you know, if we do it right now instead of an hour from now, the wind is in our. You know, I get what they were trying to make him like super smart. I'm like, okay, and then the accident happened, and then he met his love of his life, but I was like, you don't need to know he's super smart. Everyone in the movie is telling you he's the world's greatest detective. He's super smart. So that didn't need to be said. And then he says the story of the woman he loves, how she died and stuff like that. So that didn't need to be
yeah,
said. So it was like you repeated yourself, and I'm like, that's unnecessary. Like the whole beginning part didn't need to be there. This didn't need to
yeah,
be, like you said, that could have been, what was that, 10 minutes, maybe 15-ish around or whatever.
yeah, hmm
um it could have been just gone, because he explains it later,
yeah.
so and he never even talks about like he was in the war or anything like that, so it never
He
comes up.
does.
It
Yeah,
was like, so for me it was like it just meant to explain he's smart and he had a love, but they say that
yep.
later in the movie. So I think that was kind of, I don't know, they could have just skipped over that, saved a little
I
bit of
think so.
time. Yeah, because you don't need to know too much of his backstory. Um,
Nah,
I mean, they gave enough what he said. I mean, when you care about the backstories of all the people involved in the murder. So
right.
yeah, I'm right there with you, man, with that
Cool.
one.
Besides that,
Um,
I think that like if they would have took off the beginning part, giving the backstory of him being in the war, that probably would have helped out the pacing, making it not drag as long. I feel like because it just confused me more than anything. And then keeping up with the middle part of the story, I'm trying to like, okay, I'm wondering when that war scene or whatever, when that's gonna come up again, and it never did. So it lingered in my head, and it shouldn't have, because it made it made it drag more.
yeah, yeah,
But besides that,
yeah.
that's like the most that I took away from things I disliked. What about you?
Um, yeah, yeah. I mean, like for me, it's like I knew who did it fairly quick. Like I
You
had the
did.
idea. I'm like, I think it's this, in all the levels it had, and I was mostly right. I think I was like, I missed some of the little details of what happened, of why it happened, but I was right. Usually, I'm pretty good with knowing stuff like that. That's why
You
movies
are.
that catch me up, I really, really enjoy. Like Last Night in
Mm.
Soho, like I didn't expect that.
Ooh.
And and like stuff like that. Like that was a good like one where like you didn't know what was going on until the very end. I'm like, that's how it's done. That's a good murder mystery. Like that's so
Thanks.
yeah, so this one was a little predictable, although there were some times where while he's figuring out, we're like, oh, maybe, but I think I knew it. Hey, thank you,
Thank you,
Brittany.
Brittany.
But yeah, man, you just want to go into the ratings?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah, cool.
So over here at the Nerd Huddle, us two spoiler kings like to review movies a little bit differently. So we give a 3-point that you see down there, a 3-point rating. It's either going to be a watch now, a watch later, or a watch never. A watch now means drop everything, spend all your coin towards this movie because it's that good. A watch later means you can put it on the back burner and watch it when it comes out streaming, or watch it later when, because it's not priority. Or a watch never means that don't spend any coin towards this movie because it's that bad. With that
Yeah.
being said, what do you think this movie falls under?
Ooh, I'm giving Death on the Nile a later. It was fun. I'm not really into murder mysteries, so I really didn't care. It was pretty fun though. I think it's worth a watch, but it's probably worth a watch at home. You know, this one's definitely wait till it comes out on streaming or DVD or whatever, and rent it. It's yeah. I think it's just it was fun, but it was I could have it could have been more fun in HD on my TV at home. So
Thanks.
that's where I'm at. What about you, man? How'd you rate it?
So, Death on the Nile, for me, gets rated as a watch later. It almost got a now for me. It almost got a now. Just because since I'm not a murder mystery fan and I don't really go watching murder mysteries, this one sparked interest for me. I'm like, if this is how it is, right? What if there are better ones? And then that drives me to watch those and spend my coin elsewhere. So it was a later for sure. Thank you, Brittany.
Oh,
Oh
thank you,
my
Brittany, for
goodness.
the
Thank you so
500
much.
stars.
Thank you,
Thank
thank you,
you,
thank you.
thank you.
You should watch this movie. Just because it had a stacked cast, in my opinion, has a stacked cast. They did pretty darn good. They exaggerated a lot, and even though it was so well done for me, I do think that it's not priority. I feel like you can watch Spider-Man No Way Home like for the 49th time and still have a better time watching that than watching this.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like this is definitely a watch later. Just for that reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm right there with you with it. And then Rotten Tomatoes.
What
So
they
the
say.
tomato meter, which is the critics, gave it a 65%, which I'm like, okay, I'm right there with that. And then the audience gave it an 82%. So the audience was a little bit more forgiving with it. So yeah, it
Yeah.
was 2 hours and 7 minutes long. Not too bad. Yeah, some of the critics were like old fashioned. Somebody said old fashioned to a fault. Sorry. The entertaining Death in the Nile is by us let's see, enlivened by all its all-star cast and director star Kenneth Brand, how do you say Branga
Brano? I think GH is silent.
Brano
I think.
Brano.
I can't
He
English.
directed it as well.
No
So
shit.
there you go. He was the
Okay.
detective and the director. So
Damn.
and then we got there. Happy Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Happy Valentine's Day, Brittany. Thank you. The little puppy in the profile pic. I love seeing that.
Peaches. That's Peaches right there.
There's
Peaches is so
Nice.
sweet. Yes. Shout out to Peaches.
Shout out to Peaches. Yeah, so yeah, that was a little bit more forgiving with the audience, but also I feel like the people who probably saw it like murder mysteries and this book series is definitely a well liked book series, I think, when it comes to that genre.
Yeah. See,
that's my peach.
That's Peaches.
Yeah, that's cute.
She's so sweet.
That's cute. Yeah. So yeah, man, that's it for that one. It was all right, man. It was all right. Like I gotta say, there's better murder mysteries I think out there. I can't think of any off the top of my head. It wasn't horrible. It was definitely fun, but it's just I need a murder mystery that really is a mystery, because a lot of times they tell you right in the beginning
Mm.
because they try to be smart, with it. And I always feel
Yeah.
like that's the thing is like, oh, we're gonna be smart and we're gonna tell you in the beginning, but you're not gonna know we told you in the beginning until the end. I'm like, I've seen it. I've seen it
Well,
so many
they kind of
times.
did. They kind of did say in the beginning,
Yeah.
without giving spoilers, the killer was known as someone that didn't have money, they didn't have anything really. So it made them a person that didn't have anything to lose. So boom, you're right. I could totally see that.
Yeah.
From
Yeah.
today, I agree. I don't know what that means, but but I agree.
um
The golden question that we always ask for these movies that I want to ask you is: would you watch this again?
mm, Probably not.
Mm.
Probably not. Um I mean, if my girlfriend wants to watch it, she's not into murder mysteries though either, but I mean, if it's on at somebody's house during a party or something, maybe I'll sit down and watch a little bit of it because it did look pretty. It did look pretty. I think being at home on the big screen, and like 4K, I can see it being pretty visually,
Mm.
appealing.
Okay.
But nah. What about you? Watch it again?
I would watch it one more time. I would watch it again, but I'm not looking to watch this over and over and over. Just because now that I know who the killer is, I want to see, just like and when I watch Scream, like knowing who the killer is and you watch it a second, third time, which I would only give it a second time. I want to see if I can pick up on the clues that they or the crumbs that they leave in the beginning, if there are any. I felt like there wasn't that many, but if I watch it again, then I'll really confirm that. So I would watch it one more time, and for sure I'll watch it since it being a later movie. I'll watch it when it comes out streaming with that young 4K because I just feel like it would add a little pizzazz to it.
Yeah.
It's nice in the
Yeah.
theater, but being comfortable and being in my PJs, yeah, I would watch it at home.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, murder mystery should be at a home thing, man. You sit back
Mm,
and like with a beer or just like a pop and sit on the couch and kind of like, okay. And in the theater, it's just not I don't know. To me, it's not a theater genre.
right.
But I got to remember to start doing this a little bit more. We asked the audience, so in on our YouTube channel, if you want to let us know what you think. I put a poll up of every movie during the week or of the week. And we asked later, now or never, and we got 4 votes, but 2 said never and 2 said later. So
Oh,
yeah, so it's kind of like right where we're at too, like later, and some people are like, don't even waste your time with it.
wow.
So
I wonder
yeah.
why. I know why it's criticized, but I want to know why it's a never. So if you have watched this
Mm.
movie, if you're seeing this video on demand, go ahead and type on the comments why you think it gets a now, later, or never. We definitely want to hear from you guys and let us know. It's worth the watch. So please go ahead after you finish this up. If you haven't seen it, go ahead and watch it and let us know what you think in the comments. We really appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah, we would like that. And then if you're watching live, make sure you stick around. We're gonna end the broadcast, but then we're gonna make another one because we're gonna watch some trailers real quick, and then we're gonna announce our winner. So we're gonna bring Brian on in a few minutes. Excuse me. So if you're
Okay.
watching live, stick around and look out for the new video that should be coming out in a few minutes after this. If you're watching on replay, we appreciate it. Like Will said, make sure you leave a comment and let us know. But yeah, we just want to say thank you for all the people that gave us a sub. We're at 115 now, which is super awesome. So we
Thank you.
appreciate all that, and we're gonna do our giveaway. So if you're watching now, go to our channel on YouTube and go to the main channel or the trailer, and we're giving away dinner on the Spoiler Kings. So it is a $25 gift card for Fandango and a $25 gift card for Culver's. So you go a
Oh,
dinner and a movie on the Spoiler Kings. So if you
it's a
haven't
shame that.
done that already, yeah, you go do that. Oh, we got right here. All right, so we're gonna end this one here. But thank you, Will. doing another movie. We got a schedule all the way to the end of April. So we got movies that we're gonna be watching all the way until the end of that month. So it's gonna be
Thank you,
super fun. Oh yeah, man. No, I appreciate it. Dude, I love movies, and like I've always like talking about movies, so it's always been fun. But that is it from us as Spoiler Kings. You got anything else?
Stay in school.
Thanks, cool. Cool. And if you're watching live, stay on the channel. We're gonna watch some trailers and announce the winner. But thank you guys, and we'll see you guys next week.
Deuces.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. We out here.